Heather, Kaylin, thank you. There is one power guiding and supporting me. I am set free when I channel this power in my life. And so it is. And now please remain seated while we sing I Am Loved. Thank you, Tricia. Now I'm going to do a short reading and then an invocation. We'll do a meditation, followed by Reverend Steve's talk. So the reading that I chose today is from July 6th of the current Science of Mind magazine for July. And these are written by Michelle Medrano, Reverend Dr. Michelle Medrano. Uncomfortable conditions come with the added experience of uncertainty. We don't know how it will all work out, or even if it will work out, leaving us perhaps feeling unsafe and vulnerable. To meet this discomfort, we might dig into righteousness, or conversely, our wrongness, our brokenness. These states are like mind glue that sticks us to the condition and our strong perceptions. Being stuck just contributes to greater anxiety and manifests more of what we don't want. Curiosity is the antidote. It frees us from the stuck mindset and invites us to surrender to uncertainty and to ask good questions that lead us out of being stuck. The questions we ask are best when they transcend victimhood or the stuck energy and lead us to a more open mind or state of acceptance. We can accept what is so right now and be curious about how we will move forward. Examples of questions that are full of curiosity and move us forward include, how does this situation or person serve me? In other words, if I keep bringing it to me, I must be getting something out of it. What is that? Ask that question. How might I find peace for myself in this situation? Who might I become when I triumph over this condition? Choosing the open energy of curiosity aligns us with our creative energy and ability to move forward in life, despite negative or uncomfortable conditions. So I'd like you to go ahead and close your eyes right now, just allowing the energy of those words to permeate in, around, and through, knowing that there is only one power and presence, and that is the energy of spirit right here and right now. Every cell is tingling with that golden, beautiful energy, allowing the sacredness of this place to bring peace and comfort to you. And now we'll have a minute of meditation. And then coming back into this room for some beautiful music with Treja, followed by Reverend Steve's talk. Thank you.
Maybe. Happen to know that the song I'm about to sing is a favorite of some of our audience. In fact, I'm really hoping that those who know it will sing along with me, right? Because I was a little nervous about this one, but it came by request, and I think it's absolutely perfect for today. I want you to know. I think it's perfect. So if you know it, sing along. All right. Ready? Do you ever feel like a plastic bag, drifting to the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one broken caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet upstream, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a hope for you? There's a spark in you. You could carry out the light and there's time just as the night, like a fire to light. Baby, you're to work and you know as you said it. You don't have to feel like a waste of space. Your original cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds after a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe the reason why all the doors are closed, so you can find the one that leads you to the perfect soul. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow. When it's time to go, you should start with a time. And there's time to start. Like a moon to fly. Baby, you're fine.
Wow. You are a firework. Look at that. And each one of us is, aren't we? Just a shooting star in life, trying to figure it all out. Well, happy Interdependence Week. You know, there comes a time when you stop relying on external sources to tell you what to do, and you start relying on your inner GPS, God positioning system, to bring you to truth. Our theme for July is speaking truth to circumstances, to play on speaking truth to power. Because what power are we giving our power to? This topic for this week is Monsters, Inc. And if you ever saw that movie, did you ever see that movie's Monsters, Inc.? Where they confront the monsters, and the monsters are really just soft little creatures. They're just in big bodies. And that's what happens when you confront a challenge with love. It becomes this soft, delicate, little scared experience that once you understand it, it doesn't hold any power over you. It doesn't scare you anymore. You know, this turns the meaning of monsters into friends. Monsters are just friends we haven't met yet. You know that out there has no power unless we give it power? Because there's really no out there. It's all in here. You're having an individual holographic experience that all of us are playing the parts for you that you need so that you can learn more about yourself. You created this illusion, this grand illusion, so that you can understand yourself better. So how you doing? Are you being fooled by the appearance? Yeah, I totally thought this was real. And it is. It is real. But there's something deeper and more expansive going on. You know, truth replaces the hold of circumstances like light replaces the darkness. Where did the darkness go? It evaporated because truth was introduced to it. So circumstances are never the truth. They're just circumstances. They're what's going on. So we begin by looking them straight in the face as the monsters that they seem to be. And once we take them on, just saying, I'm going to take this on, all of a sudden reduces the energy of it. All of a sudden it takes the zing out of the sting. But like the movie of the same name, Monsters, Inc., they're not what they seem. So in this first week, we're looking at being bigger than our monsters, because we are our own monsters. And you know what? We're somebody else's monsters too. You ever think about that? That maybe you're the power that somebody else is afraid of. Maybe you want to take it down a notch. You know, just saying, take a step back from the edge. You know, when things seem out of control, just take a step back and relax and be okay with what's going on. It will change the energy. Even if you don't have to agree with it, but don't fight it. The more fight we give it, the more energy it has to fight back. We're also this month going to look at how we are hypnotized by conditioning. Got me hypnotized. We're also going to look at some other things this month that have to do with taking on situations in our life that used to boggle us. Power is a word that triggers many reactions in people, but there's really only one power, and there's no need to speak truth to that power, because Truth and power are one and the same spiritual realm. When you know the truth, you have power. Someone can be standing in front of you, ranting and raving about what they believe is the truth. But if it's not your truth, and you own your own truth, all of a sudden their power is diminished because it becomes their opinion. It becomes their perspective. And they're allowed their perspective, absolutely. Everyone can take a perspective, as challenging as that may be, or as misinformed as it may be. They have their right to their perspective. God bless them. So what we're really facing is the smoke and mirrors of circumstances and fear-based attempts at controlling the control masquerading as power. And those crumble in the face of truth, despite the appearance. Nothing is greater than the infinite presence. When we turn into the energy that created us, when we look to that, to our source energy, to our Christ consciousness, to our goddess wisdom, to our greatest yet to be, it activates a power within us that knows exactly what to do in every situation. Ernest Holmes said, one alone in consciousness with the infinite, constitutes a complete majority. Once again, Ernest Holmes, one alone in consciousness with the infinite, with your source energy, constitutes a complete majority. There's nothing else here. What you're looking for, you're looking with. You are the power. How can something defeat you when everything is part of you? It's just an aspect of our own being that we need to love. You know, when we attempt to fight outside circumstances, we only give circumstances more power in our mind. You know, when somebody wants you to do something and you don't want to do it, and you tell them about it, and then they tell you why you should, you tell them why you shouldn't, and the energy's all like this. The minute you step back and go, I don't need, if you know the truth, just fall silent. Don't need to argue about it. You're never going to change their mind, only they can do that. So just stand in your truth and go, I wonder what's bothering them. And know your truth. And if you're in alignment, it will grow on people. Or it will tick them off enough that they will leave your energy. Either way, you're going to get through this. So the practitioner does not fight evil. We have practitioners in our center. They're people who have dedicated themselves to practicing the presence of the awareness of the power. You can call it Christ consciousness, you can call it Jesus the Christ, you can call it goddess energy, source energy, whatever you want, that's your business. They know, the practitioner knows there's no such thing as evil. Evil is not an entity of itself. It's just a misunderstood thought process. When we engage in fighting with the outer, we're caught up in the belief in separation and have lost faith in the infinite oneness. Now, this doesn't mean we just sit on our prayer chairs and do nothing. It means we first gain a higher perspective in consciousness. Everything begins in mind. Don't lash out first and ask questions later. Go within first. This is why when we wake up and we're in harmony with our source energy, there's nothing that can throw you off. There's nothing that can hinder the inner flow of your peace and power because you're in alignment. So our most effective action is to pray. is to remember who we are. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Do you believe yourself to be source energy? Well, brings me to my 3 talking points. First, the phrase speaking truth to power is often used to indicate a commitment to stand up to those who we perceive as more powerful than us. And in truth, no one is more or less powerful than anyone else. We are all the same energy. You know, there's only one of us here. The creative energy that's beating your heart, that's breathing your body. Everyone's the same. But you get to individualize it as who you are. You get to color it. You get to pick your own favorite flavor of ice cream. Huh? Nobody's going to superimpose that on you. Now, you know, my parents always said, my mom was chocolate. My dad was pistachio. And I tried theirs. I liked them. But I liked a combination of chocolate and pistachio. You know? I didn't tell them that. The only difference is the level of consciousness, our level of awareness. But in our minds, we build certain people or organizations into these monsters, believing that they have more power than we do, which creates a separation on us and them. And in so doing, we give them power, which is not real. We give away our own power, which is actually impossible to do. But we give away our perceived power. But we are always spirit informed. You can never not be spirit. You have always been spirit before you got here. And after you're done with this little vacation experience you're having right now, you remember who you are again. But right now, you have agreed to withdraw your belief system in knowing everything so that you can have this personal experience as a human being a spiritual entity, or a spiritual entity being a human. Does it go both ways? I think it does. In reality, people who seem powerful or no more or less spirit than we are, we just don't know it. Organizations that seem immovable are made up of individual people who, again, are spirit informed, just like we are, infinite spirit. You know, this is why Interdependence Day is so powerful. I call it Interdependence Day. Independence. We decided to get out from under the energy that was telling us that we have to think a certain way, right? And we created this freedom of speech platform. But within that, aren't we individuals thinking for ourselves? Infinite spirit is always and everywhere present. And in that movie, Monsters, Inc., the monsters turn out to not really be the monsters. In fact, they even become helpful. What this phrase often addresses is control rather than power. We confuse power and control. Power is simply the ability to get things done. We get things done. Or we mess up other things that people have gotten done. Are you a builder or a wrecker? Sometimes we're both. But we tend to be more of a builder or a wrecker. And the wreckers, so to speak, they just don't know that they're builders incognito. They want to be a builder, but they don't quite know what to do. So they go around messing things up so that we builders can go and fix it up. We hear phrases like, power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Yet, since the only real power is the universe of spirit, that phrase would only imply a corrupt infinite, and that is not the truth. The infinite is not corrupted. It is giving us the opportunity to go down that road to learn something. And your challenges have brought you exactly the learning experiences you needed to move through it. They're not designed to knock you down, they're designed to build you up. What was introduced as a stumbling block is actually a stepping stone, depending on how you step on it. Number two, when we encounter people or circumstances or organizations which seem all powerful, they're actually people who have a high need for control. Interesting. Need for control comes from fear. We must look away from the smoke and mirrors of what seems to be and re-enter the truth. Reactivate your truth. Again, Ernest Holmes said, one alone in consciousness with the infinite constitutes a complete majority. And that's in Science of Mind, page 184, paragraph 3. This is a great guideline. You know? First, we must be in consciousness with the infinite. That's why waking up and doing a little prayer work brings us into the harmony of the energy that we are. And not having our attention pulled away by the people, organizations, or circumstances that bother us. None of these is first cause. First cause is source energy. You know what source energy is. That thing that's breathing you right now. Are you beating your heart right now? Hold on, I gotta beat my heart. Oh, gotta do some digestion, wait. Yeah. I gotta do some breathing, hold on. Okay, no, something's doing that for us. What is it? First cause, life. We are to go deep into this first cause and allow the nature of it to flow through us as it. The story of Exodus, of the Israelites from Egypt and their subsequent settling into the promised land, is a story of listening to God in the midst of the cries of despair from people in challenging situations. This story, like so many others, heroes' journeys, show the need of the hero, whether an individual or a group of people, to turn and listen to that power within. And in so many of these stories, there is also a time when the hero doesn't listen and gets into trouble. You ever been called up and you said, I don't want to go. I don't want to do that. I know it's right, but I don't like people telling me what to do. I am an individual. I'm going to do it my own way. And eventually they come around to a different way. But, you know, you have to feel that little bit of rebellious. You know, don't you want to speak truth to circumstances in a way that puts them in their place? But you're really putting yourself in your own place. Because there's nothing out there you're fighting against. Don't wrestle your angels, they always win. If you're right, fall silent. There's no need to argue. The truth does not need to be sold, only told. Just tell the truth. You don't have to remember a bunch of lies if you tell the truth. So much easier. Number 3, my third talking point. Once we are alone in consciousness with the infinite, we are tapped into a power greater than we are. A power that we are. We enliven the power that we are. All of a sudden, connections start to be made. Things get to be easy in our life. We don't fight anymore. Things, situations, and people come to our assistance. Money starts flowing in because you're not resisting anymore. We may not know the how of creating a better world, but that's not ours to know. We declare the what. What do you want? And most humans can't decide. Oh, I don't know, so I'll just not decide. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Rush 2112. That's my rock and roll input for the day. We align with the nature of the divine, life, love, light, wisdom, power, peace, beauty, and joy, and become willing to let it express through us. Most heroes' journeys state that when the hero comes into their own true nature, their unity with the one, all that is opposed to them is swept away before them. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for those challenges to be swept away? Oh man, I live for that. I live for the day. It's so great to wake up one morning and the thing that bothered you yesterday isn't the first thing on your mind. It's called a healing. You can truly have a healing when you wake up and you don't even remember what bothered you. That's when you know you've had a true healing. When you don't even remember what the problem was. Often our first response to wounding or outrageous circumstances is to fight, to flight, or to freeze. But if we want to create real change, we must unwind from those conditioned patterns. We must add a fourth idea to those. Instead of fighting or flight or freezing, what if we were to turn within? Go within, or you go without. This is what meditation is all about. Going within, anchoring within, allowing that energy that knows how to breathe your body to solve your challenges. What if your challenge was solved? What would it look like right now? Can you even go there in mind? We have to be able to give the mind a new idea. And the second we do, we tip the scale. We turn within, not as in hiding, but as within turning into the infinite power that is within us. We become the power that we are. You know, when you become the power that you are, there is absolutely nothing that can stop you. There is nothing more powerful than a mind that has made up its mind to be, do, or have something. So make it positive. It can't hurt you or anyone else. And when you do, the universe opens up to you. New ideas flow in, new healings happen. As people committed to creating a world that works for all, we commit to taking a stand for life enhancing. And since spirit is the ultimate source and first cause of life, we turn to that spirit for guidance. Then we act and live from that guidance. You know, so often we're given the answers and we go, oh, I don't like that answer. I like my own. This is when you go, I should have listened to my gut instinct. You ever done that? Look back and gone, I wish I would have done what came up first for me, but you do something else. So in conclusion, that which seems like monsters, those people, those organizations, those circumstances, is not as real as they appear. They are a situation you've created to learn something new. When looked at through the mind of the infinite, it is all smoke and mirrors. It's all a facade. It's a grand illusion. Nothing is as real and solid as it seems. Like monsters, they can make a lot of noise, huffing and puffing and even blowing a house down. But a house built on solid foundation of spiritual energy cannot be blown down by bullies. Oh, the form might go away, but the truth is the truth and cannot waver. But the real substance of spirit is your eternal life. And that cannot be blown away. You can run, but you cannot hide. You may put a bushel over your power, but you still shine. We don't have to stand in opposition to people or circumstances. They are our brothers and sisters also. And what we know is that within every individual is the spark of life and the spark of love. We have to connect with that. Make friends with your challenges. Ask them, what is your message? What do I need to learn from this? You know, I've said this before, but I'd go to my dad with some big thing I was spiritually working with, and he'd go, you are learning what you need to teach. Be like, oh man, it's the truth again. When we can get past our fear and theirs, as insurmountable as that might seem, we can find a way to create a world that works for all. And that's why we're here. Happy Interdependence Day. And so it is. So it's time for us to follow our teaching and go within. If you'd like to close your eyes, if that's comfortable for you, or take a soft focus on the candles or the flowers, let's just take a moment and connect with the energy that created us. So I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness what you believe the power of creation is for you. There is a power that is always on. It is the very love of the universe that loved each one of us so much that it gave us the ultimate gift of life. You are a divine outpicturing of source energy. You are an event that God is having. We are unified in a field of all opportunity. There is something powerful happening as only you can experience. I invite you to bring your idea of what you're working with to this energy. Maybe it's a health situation, maybe it's a financial experience, maybe it's some misunderstanding with some other being. But let's not try to figure it out so much as try to give it over to the power that breathes our body. Give it over completely to that energy and imagine it as healed, as fixed. All of a sudden, as we let go of that into the creative energy that is, the miraculous energy of healing is activated right here and right now in each situation. Knowing that in the body, all the cells are going to all the right places for perfect healing. In our lives, all the right connections are being made or released for the perfect healing. All of the energy of love that you came here to be is now activated. And a thriving energy is transforming each one of our lives into love. Love is the reason we have come to express ourselves as the divine. How good it is to know that we have found the answer. And it is us. It is not out there far off. It is closer than hands and feet because it is our very breath. So as we give great thanks, our hearts overflow with the gratitude of the universe. Our bodies know this feeling and begin to vibrate with that beautiful blessing of the universe. So as we let go, we release this word directly into that living, loving law, believing it is already done, for it truly is. As we affirm this together by saying, so it is. Amen. Well, it's time for our offertory idea about sharing. So if you'd like to take your gift and put it on your heart, put your hand on your heart. Let's say this together.
I thrive and flourish and share my gifts abundantly, and so it is.
Tracy.
Soft lights here. Karen, could you dim the lights and make this? There you go. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
It's time for us to say a prayer for our offertory this morning. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They're evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They do good work in this world, blessing the giver and receiver, and allowing this, the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, to be open and available to those who are choosing to remember who they are, and even for those who may not know it yet. And for that, this community thrives with love, as we affirm it together by saying,
And so it is.
It's time for our song. Let's stand up and sing.
So it's a little hard to see, but it's not hard to learn, so we'll do it together. Life, love, joy, life. Don't worry, you'll catch it. And I love that I have a little bit of Dave. Yes, yes, yes.
And I say yes, yes, yes to life, life, life. I say yes, yes, yes to God. I claim my best when I say yes, yes, yes to life. When I say yes, yes. When I say yes, yes, yes to love, 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 I say yes, yes, yes to God. I claim my best when I say yes, yes, yes to love. When I say yes, yes, yes to joy, 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 yes, yes, yes to God. I claim my best when I say yes, yes, yes to joy. When I say yes, yes, yes to life, 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 I say yes, yes, yes to God. I claim my best when I say yes, yes, yes to life. Yes, yes, yes to life. Yes, yes, yes to life. Yes, yes, yes to life.
It's time for our benediction. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my mind.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in my body.
It's happening in the body of my affairs.
It's happening in the body of my.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
And I know it.
I know it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way it is.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Happy Interdependence Week, everybody. And Jamaica will be speaking next Sunday. You have a treat, so come enjoy a little bit of the goddess energy. And so it is. Have a great week, everybody.
You got a cute puppy.